that he would be in such a bind that he'd never get out of your threats.
Yeah, I'm very happy about this game, especially the move knight f6. It's not often that you see you sacrifice a rook and it works perfectly. The thing is, his knight and bishop's very passive. His bishop would prefer to be in a dark square. And I was just so happy to get through. I thought knight f6, king h8, but I have queen c2 ideas in any case, so he has to take. I wasn't completely sure if it was winning. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was winning, but of course I couldn't calculate everything.
Well, the engines at first thought maybe it's not so great when the way you played. I think queen h6, but they caught on soon enough that this was actually much deeper and not a bad move. We were confused. The engines were confused. Again, I want to understand, when did you first just appreciate this just works?
Yeah, when you look at the position, we see bishop on e8, knight on d8. Also, the queen is trapped in the corner on a8. Then Black's king doesn't really have much defenders. Basically, all he has is knights. The rook doesn't really participate in the game. So when you just see Black's pieces very passively, also h4 and rook h3 is coming very quickly, and bishop c3 also. And Black really lacks a dark square defender.
So work me through this. I mean, the engine's saying question mark, but as soon as you move, it's going to say, yeah, you're winning. But when you are back 2 moves before this, we can just go back to the knight. Right here, the knight drops back, which looks like a real mistake, not helping out. But knight e7, winning back the exchange, looks so natural. You're going to have the 2 bishops anyway and play.
Yeah.
What made your eyes actually look at knight f6? What's the process for finding such a move? Is it just the pieces look bad, so I should have a killer blow?
Yeah, the pieces look bad. Black dark square is very weak. He doesn't have any defenders on the king, really. And once you calculate a few lines and you see it's very dangerous, you just got to make that move, right? It doesn't happen every day that you have such a move. I think also remind me of my game with Magnus in the World Championship match where I had bishop h6 or something in one game. But yeah, the thing is, if I play knight e7 and grab the rook, then white is better, but it's not so easy because knight takes, queen takes. He's got knight c5 and he consolidates. So
you were dissatisfied that this wasn't giving you what you wanted?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this still white's better, but it's very complex. So when you see a move knight f6 and you see you don't lose right away, you have some ideas. It's not easy for Black to defend. You just gotta make that move. Also, yeah, Black's pieces on the dark square, on the back ranks, all very passive. But I have some ideas like this actually. Like even before I played b5, I was thinking some h4, h5, h6 ideas, and then knight f6 later. So I was already, after b5, I expected him to play knight e5, f4, then knight d7, f5, and then after his knight moves anywhere c5, I play f6, and this should be winning.
So the dark squares were already on your mind?
Yeah, I mean, so that's exactly, I already had this f6 idea, the point. But actually, later on, I was completely winning, but I made it much, much harder. I should have other ways to win. So after knight d8, knight f6, gf6, yeah, queen h6. I thought queen h6 looks very natural.
No, it's a good move. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry, the engine is just having a blip moment.
Yeah.
It's confused as we were, but the more we looked at it, the more we realized this game is over. Queen f6 was another brilliant idea, and it just gets worse and worse, and then you push your h-pawn off the board.
Yeah, basically, king is stuck also. Don't know. I'm not even sure if h4 is the best move. I also have e4 instead of h4. Also, it's interesting because if he takes, I have bishop g4. Very hard to defend for Black.
It's all about that dark square bishop on the diagonal, isn't it?
Yeah, and then the king can't move. After e4, I think he has to play c5 in order to block the dark squares with knight d4. But then, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe some h4 or.
Well, what you did was so crushing.
I let him escape actually. I was expecting bishop b5, but I should play rook h3, I think.
h5 was fine, actually.
Was h5 fine?
Yeah, h5 was fine. I think the moment that you missed, let's say the easier one, is that Black's actually not moving this knight from g7. So if you just take the bishop.
No, I thought take. You can play rook c8. Yeah.
But I think you can now take this knight, no?
Take rook e8. Yeah. So I was thinking a long time whether to go for this or not. Bishop c2, knight g7.
Maybe you start with rook h3 just to keep the bind.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was hesitating a long time whether to go for this, but the end, I just went for the piece. But he had 3 pawns, but all his pawns, the king side, are weak.
I mean,
And
you
then crazy
call
stuff
it, you made it harder, but you
Much,
never
yeah.
let go of the win. You still were always winning. There was no moment where suddenly he's back in the game and he's fighting.
Well, in the very end, until he let me checkmate him.
Which was a
I
nice
play
checkmate
F3.
too.
Which was also a nice checkmate. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for joining
Thanks
us.
so
We know
much.
you have to get your rest.
Yeah.
Brilliant game. Thank you so much for giving us some insight into a move like knight to f6. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Thank you.